Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Scratch Golf Academy. Today we're going to go over driver fundamentals for beginners. Even if you're not a beginner, it's super important to watch. Let's get into it. So the driver, probably the one more fun clubs in your bag. You get to hit it a long way, swing hard. You know, it's a lot of fun. But there's certain fundamentals that you need to make sure that are in place to maximize your accuracy, your distance, everything you want out of your driver. So we're going to talk about setup and the proper way to set up with the driver, because the setup dictates everything about your swing. So I'm going to face you guys for part of it, face down the line for some, but we're going to talk about everything from stance to setup to body positions and eventually get into the swing. So let's talk about stance to start. So in terms of stance, how wide or how narrow you should be in your stance. Now, driver, longest club in your bag, right? So in turn, we want to probably have the widest stance that we would have out of any of our clubs in our bag. So for me, I like to be pretty wide, maybe a little bit wider than usual, than normal. So I like to be just outside of shoulder width here, and a nice solid base, right? You should feel connected to the ground, do a couple twists here, really be able to make sure that you're able to rotate properly, you're not falling over, losing your balance, a little bit wider than shoulder width. Now, in terms of weight distribution, I said we're going to cover everything, so it even determines, where your weight is in your foot. Now, at setup position here, we have our feet about a little wider than shoulder width. Now, in terms of weight distribution, I don't want you to be super far in your toes. That is a big no, because what happens is if you're making a swing super far on your toes, now you're bringing in early extension, you're bringing in that hip forward, then all of a sudden you could swipe across it, no good. I'd rather you be in your heels, but ideally we are kind of in the ball of our foot, mid to back of our foot. What that's going to do is it's going to allow us to generate the most amount of power and force from the ground and keep a stable base. We want to be able to make a driver swing without falling over. That is a big thing. That's why I said wide base to keep your ground, to keep your stance. And then weight is pretty much mid to mid back, right? No, not too forward, not too far back, right in the middle over the ball of your foot. Now, in terms of ball position, let's get into that. Driver, longest club in your bag. So we want that ball to be as far up as we would put it, further up than we would put it for a 3-wood, because it's our longest club. I like to put it right inside of our front heel. So if I were to put this club down where that ball is going to rest inside my front heel, maybe a little bit more inside of that. You don't quite have to be that far forward. The thing is, longest club in our bag means that this club face is going to take longer to square. The bottoming out point of this club is going to be further up than it would for an iron because it's shorter, right? The golf club is going to stay open for longer. So if it was further back, right, this club face is open and there's really nothing you can do about it. But if it's forward in our stance, we keep turning, keep releasing. Now all of a sudden we're nice and square and we can come on and through. So that's checkpoint number 2, ball position. So let's get into overall stance and how far away we should set up from the ball. See, a lot of people set up super far away. They're really reaching for it like this. A lot of gapping in between their arms and their body. Some people set up super close, right? This club is super low. What I want you to do is stand up straight, nice and straight, hold the club out in front of you, squeeze your pecs together, hinge at the waist until that club hits the ground, soften the knees, and that is about how far you want to be from your ball with the driver. Good rule of thumb here is the end of the grip pointing into your belt buckle. So you don't want to be super low, don't want to be super high, pretty neutral, smack dab into your belt buckle like this. And you shouldn't feel like you're reaching for it, but you also shouldn't feel like you are on top of it. A great way to do it is set up, let your trail arm dangle down. Wherever that seems to dangle and hit, that is where you would reach for it. If you're standing too far away and you're dangling and you're short, that means you got to move closer. So keep moving until that trail arm reaches the golf club. That's kind of how you determine how far away to stand. Now, let's talk about, we have stance in terms of width, we have weight distribution, we have how far away you should stand from the ball. Now let's talk about overall body positioning, because with the driver, it is one of the more unique clubs in our bag because we hit up on it, right? Not like an iron where we're hitting down, taking turf. Even a wood, we can get away with taking some turf. This one, we're teeing up nice and high, and we want to hit up on it. So since we want to hit up on the ball, We want to position our body for the biggest success for us to do that, right? We don't want to set up with our weight super far forward and do all that, because you're not optimizing yourself to hit a good driver. So in terms of setup, I'll face you guys for right now. Setting up everything we talked about. I see a lot of people drop this back shoulder like this, and they think, okay, I'm going to really hit up on this golf ball, which to a certain extent, it's okay. What I want you to feel is put your trail arm behind you like this and just slide it down until your fingertips meet your knee. And you notice this is literally only about an inch. That is it. Now I regrip the club, stay in this posture. That is all you need to do. Big thing now too is once you are in this posture, we slid this down, middle of our knee. Perfect. We are in this posture. Maintain this posture through your swing. I do not want you to take the club back and lean back even more and try to lift that ball up in the air. That is not going to help you out. You are already getting yourself in a good position with your setup, so you have to trust that positioning and make a swing. So you're maintaining that posture, slide it down. You can do that on the range to feel it. Okay, maintain that posture here, through. Notice how you're not leaning back more, you're not leaning forward. You're just maintaining it because you're setting yourself up for success in that way. The last thing is alignment. Alignment, alignment, alignment. Super important. The biggest thing is, yes, your feet want to be pointed towards your target, but especially with the driver, and I'm a victim of this too, is you set up and your shoulders are really pointed open, left of your target for right-handed players, right of your target for left-handed players. Now what this is going to do is your club goes where your shoulders go. I'm a very big believer in that. If your shoulders are pointed left, this club is going to go left, and this ball is going to go left like that. There's really nothing stopping it. So for you people who hit a big slice, you come across the ball like this, your face is open, that ball is missing out to the right. Pretty hard to not do that when you set up open. So I want you to feel like your shoulders are parallel to your feet. Look at that. Right there, if I drew a line down there with my feet, parallel. Now you're just going to hold that positioning. It's all about holding the positioning through your swing. Come back, through. That is all you can do with the driver swing. Simplify it as much as possible. Don't swing hard, swing easy. Maintain your posture, maintain your positions, and you'll see a lot of success. That was a lot, but it was driver boot camp for you. Make sure to subscribe to Scratch Golf. Check out my stuff over on That Golf Grind. See you guys out here real soon.